Samurai was a Japanese noble warrior cast of a medieval and early modern Japan. Although samurai doesn't exist anymore, it is still a part of the Japanese culture, and the legend around it give it a literary value too. There have been great samurai movies like The Seventh Samurai, Rashomon, and The Throne of the Blood, which made the whole world familiar with the amazing culture Japan had a few centuries ago. Just like the movie industry, video game developers also had their takes on the samurai, with games like Nioh, Way of the Samurai, and more. Even though they are great games, none have been able to portray a story, environment, and culture as perfect as Sucker Punch did with the latest game, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima delivers a more vivid samurai tale, giving life to some legendary characters and portraying the beauty of Japan. This makes Ghost of Tsushima the best samurai game to have ever been created. The game is not just the best samurai game, but also one of the best action-adventure open-world games to date. Sucker Punch has done a very good job of bringing the perfect game to mark the end of the current gen PlayStation exclusives. Believe me when I say, Ghost of Tsushima is one of the best, if not the best open world games I have ever laid my hands on. You can start to play the game determined to complete it, attending to the main quest, but you will end up spending most of your time exploring the beautifully designed world instead. We all know how good the last titles of the infamous series looked. Sucker Punch did their magic again with an even better world that strikes beautiful, colorful, detailed, elegant, and lively. Thick bamboo forest to massive field of grass and weed are all stunning, and the constantly blowing wind makes it even more stunning and lively. It's not some oversaturated environment, but everything is balanced out to be bringing out some of the unique vibes at the different points. It is simply mind-blowing. This brings cinematic looks throughout the game and even has dedicated modes to make it look and feel like the samurai movie if you're into it. The devs mentioned that they were inspired by the classic samurai movies, especially the ones directed by Akira Kurosawa. He directed the movies also, which were mentioned in the earlier of this video. The game looks so good in every way, except for the facial animations and lip sync sometimes. The facial animations aren't that great that make you think if there are any facial animations at all. This may be really irritating to some players, but the rest of the gameplay will surely make up for it. One of the key points the developers advertised about the game is the original Japanese voice line they recommended players to try out when playing. A great job has been done by voice artists, but the lip sync is just not that great. Almost none of the words matched with the lips. The roughness and the power in Jin's voice aren't really matched with his facial animations. This makes the game look unpolished, and it is its downside. Coming to the gameplay, let's talk about the exploration. Sucker Punch has made some very good decisions regarding of the gameplay, especially of the exploration. In the most open world games, the exploration factor isn't something that has great importance in the gameplay. You can either choose to explore it or attend to the quests and get it done as soon as possible. But this is different with the Ghost of Tsushima. Everything from quests to exploration is connected to the game. The game does not feature a map HUD in the game and does not feature any waypoints to assist the players. Ghost of Tsushima takes a whole new approach in navigation, and it is perfect. Players can mark a waypoint on their main map and have the wind assist them in getting there. The wind acts as a major gameplay element as it shows the players the way to go, and what's amazing is that the whole environment reacts to it. Grass, trees, leaves, and all other particles on the screen goes in the direction of the wind, making it feel like the whole environment is responding to your actions. Having this system makes the players explore more of the beautiful world too. You may also find foxes distract you and lead you to Inari shrines, birds leading you to a point of interest, and NPCs calling out for the secondary quest and such. You can go around on foot or horseback. Now the horse riding experience in the game is pretty good too. The camera angle is perfect to see the wind properly and to observe the world. The horse animations are well polished and feels more like a horse than in any other game I have played. On-foot navigation is all good and nothing special, but I will talk about the climbing in the game. It isn't that good. The animations are off and feels weird to the player, at least to me. Now the jumping animations look and feel good but do not make up for the bad climbing. The game's map is also considerably big and is filled with lots of quests and the activities. However, the quests are a different story, and I will come back to it after discussing the combat system or mechanics of the game. Ghost of Tsushima is obviously a combat-heavy game that a lot of the actions happened, and I really do not have any complaints about its combat mechanics, only compliments. The game features both stealth and the open combat mechanics. Now the stealth combat includes the same old crouch, sneak up from behind and execute with the assassinations playstyle like the most of the other games. But what's the eye-catching are other features that give players a chance for the creativity, are enemies distracting the feature like the smoke bombs, kunai, silent bows and A-chain assassinations. Open combat is more diverse in this game, as stand system is once again seen on the game, and this time it is even better. Stone stands effective against the swordsman, water stands effective against the shieldman, wind stands effective against the spearman, and lastly moon stands effective against the brutes. There are 4 major stances can be unlocked and upgraded by simply attending to the quests, both side and the main ones. The overall combat is well designed in my opinion. The enemies are smarter in this game, and even in the smallest group of enemies you engage with can be a little difficult to deal with, even in a normal difficulty. Most enemy clusters included different variations like the swordsman, shieldman, spearman, brutes and the archers. You simply cannot spam the buttons to win a fight. You have to be careful, use multiple stances during the combat, according to the enemies you're facing and also while utilizing the utilities like kunai and the bow. This gives an actual game for the players to play, so that's a huge plus side of the game. Another great thing about the game is extreme customizability of armor and gear. You can acquire armor and outfits by simply completing a variety of quests. You can still change how the armor looks by changing color using the ingredients you collect throughout the game. There are lots of types of armor to fit your playstyle, and your choices are very flexible. Finally, to the story. The video is a spoiler-free review, so I will avoid describing the main quest of the game. There are plenty of quests for the players to engage in. The side quests are short and sweet, might even come to the closer quality of the Witcher 3 side quest quality. Most of them try to tell a different story too. But what's not right is most quests and playstyles tend to get repetitive. You will find yourself doing similar stuff to complete missions. And the bonus objective are very primitive and not challenging, like get this much of kills while use this weapon being equipped and etc. And could have been improved and with more creative ones in my opinion. Also, the voice lines of the villagers you save from the Mongolians are mostly similar and it's kinda annoying too. The stealth mechanics of the game are amazing like I said, but the stealth missions tend to get a bit annoying too. For example, you will need to tail or observe an enemy, a certain character being hidden. But as soon as you lose your sight on him, a countdown starts even though he literally is right there. So you will go through the game's story and perhaps you may even realize that there's a lesson to be learned with Jin's decisions. So, you will go through the game's story and perhaps you even may realize that there is a lesson to be learned with Jin's decisions. You really do not know if he made the right calls until you find them out later down the game, as it keeps it engaging and emotional too, wanting to find out what will happen next. The game takes you a whole new dimension of the Japanese culture and a beauty with extreme attention to the details with buildings and the environments. Ghost of Tsushima is very breathtaking as every frame of the game moves as it's alive. Sucker Punch really did manage to pull off an amazing game to end the current gen exclusives. The game also features some of the game modes like the Samurai mode, which enables the Japanese audio track with the English subtitles, and the Kurosawa mode, which makes the game look like a Kurosawa movie with black and white, and a grainy look making the game more dramatic and cinematic. The sound design of the game also matches with the beautiful aesthetics of this game. The music feels like an actual traditional Japanese music, and it uplifts the mood of the game. Apart from the negatives that I have mentioned earlier, like unpolished facial animations, lip syncing, and repetitive quests, the game is an absolute masterpiece and deserves the highest marks.